When Trump claimed credit for calming India and Pakistan, he thought it was a victory lap. Instead, he lit a fire in New Delhi. Modi struck back hard, denying Washington any role. But here's the danger. This isn't just about bruised egos. It could shape how the next crisis between nuclear rivals unfolds, and it could decide whether America remains a player in South Asia or watches from the sidelines. Let's begin. India and Pakistan, two nations locked in a 75-year rivalry, where every gunshot across the line of control can spiral into war. A fragile ceasefire, always one provocation away from collapse. And into this dangerous theater, Donald Trump stepped forward, claiming he had done what no one else could, that he had calmed the storm. But almost immediately, the narrative cracked. Modi's government denied Trump's boast. Not quietly, not behind closed doors, but publicly, firmly, and with sharp edges. Why? Because in India's political psychology, even the suggestion of outside mediation isn't just inaccurate, it's unacceptable. To understand why this clash matters, we need to step back. For decades, the India-Pakistan conflict has been defined by two constants: unresolved borders and unresolved pride. Every war, every skirmish, every truce has carried the same question: who calls the shots? India's answer has always been firm. We talk directly with Pakistan. No third party, no mediation. This stance isn't just policy, it's identity. For Modi, who campaigns on being India's strongman, any hint that Trump brokered peace is a direct attack on his image. It suggests weakness, dependency, submission, and that's political poison. For Trump, though, the calculus was different. In his mind, claiming credit fit a pattern, projecting dominance, scoring headlines, showing America still pulls strings abroad. A victory lap for Washington's role on the global stage. But the clash of narratives was inevitable.
When Modi pushed back, he wasn't just correcting the record, he was defending sovereignty. By saying no US mediation, he reminded his audience, both domestic and global, that India doesn't let outsiders dictate its security, especially not in matters involving Pakistan, where national emotions run raw. The move was calculated. Modi's denial wasn't only about disproving Trump, it was about telling his own people, I, and only I, control India's red lines. And in the zero-sum optics of strong leadership, that message mattered more than sparing Trump embarrassment. But here's the twist. In outmaneuvering Trump, Modi also set a precedent, one that could weaken America's standing in South Asia long-term. Think about it. Washington once styled itself as the indispensable power, able to step into conflicts worldwide and mediate, in the Middle East, in the Balkans, even in Afghanistan. But here, in South Asia, India slammed the door, and not quietly. By publicly rejecting Trump's claim, Modi signaled to the world that America's word doesn't automatically stick, that the US can boast, but India can cut it down. That's not just a diplomatic skirmish, that's a recalibration of influence. And it comes at a sensitive time. China is expanding its footprint in South Asia, with investments, infrastructure, and arms sales. Russia, too, still has defense ties in the region. If America looks sidelined, who fills the vacuum? That's the real consequence of Trump's misstep, not just bruised egos, but shifting power balances. Now, let's zoom into the ceasefire itself. Why does it matter who gets credit? Because credit creates leverage. If Trump had been seen as the broker, Washington could claim a stake in future talks, a role at the table, influence over outcomes. By denying it, Modi cut that leverage short. He recentered the narrative. The ceasefire exists because of us, India and Pakistan, not because of anyone else. And that message wasn't just for Washington, it was for Islamabad too.
Pakistan, often more open to outside involvement, now finds itself caught. If India refuses third-party mediation, Pakistan either accepts bilateral talks on India's terms or risks being blamed for escalation. Modi knew this. That's why his denial wasn't defensive, it was offensive, a power move. Here's the part most headlines miss. This wasn't just about a line of credit for a ceasefire, it was about credibility. Modi's credibility as a strongman, Trump's credibility as a deal maker, and America's credibility as a power in Asia. When Modi struck back, he defended his image at home, but he also chipped away at Washington's claim abroad. And in geopolitics, perception is power. Once perception shifts, reality follows. So the question becomes, in protecting his strongman image, did Modi outsmart Trump, or did he expose a deeper weakness in America's playbook? If you think this was just a quarrel over credit, think again. The fallout reaches far beyond New Delhi or Washington. It stretches into Beijing, Islamabad, Moscow, and yes, into every corridor where global power is negotiated. Because when Modi denied Trump, he wasn't just slapping down an exaggeration. He was showing the world that India now sees itself as an autonomous pole of power, not a junior partner, not a client state, a nation that won't let America or anyone else script its story. That message travels, and rivals are listening. China, for example. Beijing has long tried to paint America as a fading power in Asia. Every time Washington's claim gets publicly undermined, that narrative grows stronger. And now, Modi, not Xi, handed Beijing ammunition. But don't miss the Pakistan angle. Pakistan has always relied on outside mediators to balance India's weight. US presidents, from Clinton to Bush to Obama, have been seen as power brokers. Even if they weren't officially mediating, their shadow loomed over every truce.
Trump's boast was an attempt to revive that tradition, but Modi's rejection shut the door. That leaves Pakistan cornered. If India insists on bilateralism and America is sidelined, Islamabad has fewer escape routes. Which raises the danger. When trapped, nations don't always choose peace, they gamble. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Modi's tough stand boosts his image, yes, but it also risks making Pakistan more unpredictable. And unpredictability between two nuclear rivals isn't strength, it's volatility. Now, let's examine Trump's side. Why did he even make the claim? Because Trump thrives on spectacle, on showing he can do what others can't. For him, "I brought India and Pakistan to peace" is a headline too good to resist. But Trump underestimated two things. First, Modi's refusal to share credit. Second, how fragile America's reputation already was in South Asia. Afghanistan's messy exit, growing Chinese influence, Russia's arms deals. America wasn't holding strong cards. So when Modi pushed back, it didn't just sting, it exposed weakness. And here's the irony. Trump wanted to look like the dealmaker. Instead, he looked sidelined. He gave Modi an opening to play the stronger hand, and Modi took it. So what happens next? Let's run through the scenarios. Scenario 1, India holds the line. Modi doubles down. Every time Washington hints at a role, Delhi rejects it. Result? India emerges as the unchallenged manager of South Asia's crises. America fades. China grows. Scenario 2. Pakistan pushes back. Islamabad refuses to accept India's dominance. It escalates along the line of control, hoping to force outside intervention. That risks triggering the very war Modi wants to avoid. And America, now distrusted, may find itself unable to calm the storm.
Scenario 3. Trump or any US leader reframes. Washington stops claiming credit and instead pivots, supporting from the sidelines, supplying intelligence, backing diplomacy quietly, less glory, more influence. But will Trump or future US leaders accept playing the quiet role? Here's the heart of it. Modi's denial wasn't just diplomatic, it was psychological. In politics, especially in South Asia, strength is theater. Optics are substance. If Modi looks like he bowed to Trump, his strong leader brand cracks. If he looks like he stood tall, his base rallies. Trump misjudged that theater. He thought the applause line in Washington would carry in Delhi. It didn't. Instead, Modi flipped the stage and the world saw a US president checked by a foreign leader who wouldn't bend. This isn't just about one news cycle. It's about whether America still sets the frame in global conflicts or whether leaders like Modi can rewrite it in real time. If Washington loses narrative control in South Asia, its leverage shrinks elsewhere. Allies see weakness, rivals see opportunity, and the balance of power tilts, quietly but decisively. Because here's the thing, credibility isn't lost in one war.
It's lost in moments like these, in disputes over who gets credit, in public denials that echo louder than boasts, in subtle shifts that accumulate until one day the world realizes America isn't the referee anymore.